Okay. Number 2, how did you learn to love yourself? What did that process look like for you? How did I learn to love myself? Well, actually, something that's really interesting about self-love and self-acceptance and self-care is people often say, unless you care for yourself, you can't care for others, or unless you love yourself first, you can't love others. Now, there is a certain amount of truth in that, as in, unless you respect yourself enough to not drive yourself into the ground when you're loving other people, then yeah, no, you can't. You have to love yourself first a little bit before you can love other people. But sometimes the most powerful experience is when somebody loves you unconditionally. Somebody just loves you, even when you don't feel lovable. Somebody just loves you. And and this happened to me first with animals and then with human beings. I felt unconditional love from animals towards myself, having never felt loved as a child, and not even like having to ask my even my mother, who was very caring, as in, you know, she provided for us. I had to actually ask her, do you love me? Because she'd never told me that she loved me, and that was only like 5 or 6 years ago. So it's, you know, I was way into my adulthood. And she said, of course, you know, of course I love you. And she's actually made efforts to be more vocal about it since, which is, you know, good for her. I just have such admiration for her. But, you know, having grown up not ever feeling loved, and getting that unconditional love from animals made me feel like, number one, I was loved, but also number two, that I wanted to be around animals more. And then there was one time when I realized that that I'm worthy, that there's something to me. And that was when I was in a relationship with a person. I was maybe 19, 20, something like that. So it's a good 20 plus years ago. And they found out, I told them about the sexual abuse that happened in my childhood. And the person said to me, do you want me to go and deal with that other person, that person who hurt you? And because without disclosing too much information, because I knew this person very well, and he was a cage fighter in Russia at the time, so free fighting. If you don't know what that is. If you're not too sensitive to violence, you can go to YouTube. And I just said to him, no, I don't want you to sort this out for me. But it felt so validating that somebody would want to protect me like that. And obviously this relationship, you know, ended when it ended, and that was fine. And it, you know, I'm more than happy in my current situation, and I can't imagine being in any other situation now. But it was just such a light bulb moment for me when I realized this person cares. Like, I'm actually worth this person possibly getting into trouble for going to sort that person out. So that's how I kind of realized that, hang on, I can have these things. I can be a real person and be loved. But I didn't actually learn to love myself for years and years and years after that. So I was missing this respect for myself that stopped me from really truly appreciating who I was as a person and am as a person. It took me years of just looking for positives in myself and acknowledging those positives in myself to actually get to a space which I would describe as self-love. So that's how I really learned to self-love. Sometimes you need to get it from another person before you can get it for yourself. And anybody tuning into this one, I just want to say I feel so privileged to be in this group with you. So please feel my love for you and, you know, for your work. If you've never felt loved before, please know that I appreciate you. Okay. So that's what it looked like. Yeah, that's how I realized love. That I was loved, and the process just took a long time of practicing pointing out good things about myself.